This video is brought to you in association with Funded Today. Funded Today helps startups to succeed, especially in the fast-paced world of rewards-based crowdfunding. Its creative, marketing and consulting services can multiply your Kickstarter or Indiegogo pledges. All the links for Funded Today are in the video description below. Let's go. Let's get on with the show.
TALKFUNDING Backstory. And here we are again with Yoami from Nawa, who are live on Kickstarter with Bulletville, the new multiplayer parkour hero shooter. Listen, Yoami, I really want to talk about your own backstory, because all the way through the interviews, with the main interview and the deep dive, what's coming through is your passion. I mean, this really is your life, and you're alluding to your early stages of playing games yourself. So can we take that sort of journey right the way back from your early days of actually playing the games and then beginning to develop games yourself? So let's just go on that journey.
Sure. I mean, it's a very long story. I'm an old guy now, but I was always obsessed with video games, even when I was like a tiny boy, and I found like a handheld version of Space Invaders that a friend of my mom had, and I was annoying as hell because I would go to that house and lost all my time there just playing this thing forever. But then I discovered Nintendo NES. But when I was playing those games, all that I was thinking all the time is, how are they doing this? Why is this character moving on the screen? There was a bat in a Smurf game in a very difficult level. It's a cave, and you're playing with a Smurf, and there is a bat that is doing this movement. It's a sinusoidal movement. But I was like 8 years old, and I knew there was some kind of pattern here, because I had to move very slowly so the bat doesn't kill me. But all my mind's like, what is the formula moving this stupid bat? Then,
Wow.
then I had a computer, and I got a Prince of Persia, and I got Civilization. And I spent more time trying to hack those games to see how they were made than playing them. I spent like twice the amount of time. I made in Prince of Persia, I hacked the file, so I was able to play with the Sultan and with a skeleton instead of the normal prince. Then the game would crash because the game was not expecting that somebody was going to be flipping files around. And then on Civilization, I hacked some config file, and there's something called the settler. That is a little unit that you move around to create a new city. And I found in the code how to make the settler act like a plane, so I could fly with the settler and colonize the whole country before anybody else. So I was trying to hack my ways into games since very early age. And actually in the 2000s, when Flash became a thing, it was like the first gaming engine that was like super easy to use. It actually didn't have code. You could do like play and stop and save a variable and make a button. It was like nothing. But I had some clients, and the clients started wanting advert games. And advert games, like, stupid game, you have a ball, you put it in a basket, or you click something. So I started making advert games. And then Flash started becoming a more robust game engine, and I fell in love with it. And I was working in Flash. I was making Flash games for like 14 years, always for clients. So I was making, what I showed in the video: puzzle games, Candy Crush clones, Farmville clones, poker games, Ludo games. And making the games is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun taking a problem that is going to be some gameplay and then turning that into code, and then you need to work on that code until it feels good. It's kind of like emotional loop. It's like making music or writing poetry. It's like you have an idea, you turn that into code, and then you re-experience what you did. And then if you're making games that other people are playing, you have the additional loop of everybody else playing the game. So you can look at them playing the game, so you understand. It's some kind of magical community, and it's beautiful. If you're in this, if you're like me, or you're one of those crazy developer guys, there's something magical in turning ideas into code, into experiences, experiencing them yourself, and watching other people experience them. So getting to this point where Bulletville started, it was 2017 more or less, and I had been working games for well 17 years, a little more, plus all my years making board games and hacking when I was a kid. And I had never made my own stuff. It's not that I didn't have ideas. I have ideas all the time. Anytime that I feel something or I play a good game or something, I get an idea. Oh, it would be amazing to make this game, but like this other game, but I never made it because it takes time, costs money, you know, all the excuses. What if I make it? I'm gonna put a year here, then I'm gonna fail. But it was time, man. I had been on this for way too many years, and so I started. Also, it coincided that Flash had died. Flash died as an engine officially, I think, 2017, 16. So I was working in Unity. I had to learn new stuff. I had to get out of my comfort zone. I said, okay, let's do it. I started making a few games. So I made this character, the Willy Punch character, which is he comes from Prince of Persia, the original one, and he also comes from Infamous, the PlayStation game. So basically, Infamous took everything they could from Prince of Persia and made it better. They added some more features that Prince of Persia didn't have. So I took their ideas plus Prince of Persia and I created Willy Punch, adding a grapple hook and some combat and crap. And there is a little bit of this other game. It's amazing. Super Meat Boy. There is another indie game that was made for Xbox. So I was making that game, and I was pitching that to publishers, and also my tower defense game. There was a tower defense in with a bunch of cowboys protecting gold in some kind of alien planet. And pitching those to publishers, I realized instead of going the publisher route, it was going to be better to make an indie game and put it on Steam in early access and develop a community on Steam and then release the game on Steam, you know, with the actual people instead of going like the big publisher route that they just tell you to change the game. I mean, going with a publisher at that stage felt that it was going to be back to client work again because then they're going to have the power because they're paying. So basically, I'm working for them. I was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to make my own stuff. So I was working in that for a while, making the first version of Bulletville. I put that on Twitter. It was going on Facebook. Then a few magazines started covering the game. And I had a Discord. And I remember a day that in the Discord, like 500 people signing in the same time. I was like, oh my God, I have a good game here.
Yeah,
I need to make it bigger. That's a mistake. Never do this. Don't follow my step. I had to finish that game, call it Bulletville 1, make some money, get a fan base, run it for a couple years, learn the lessons, and then you make the crazy AAA super big badass best game in the world. But I didn't follow my advice. So in 2017, when I saw that the game had real potential, that I was right with all my intuitions and stuff, you know, people were actually liking this. I thought, I got it. I have the best game in the world. Let's make it the biggest game in the world. So that game turned into an indie title. To trying to be a AAA, super polished, you know, what are you seeing now? Super polished, super colorful. Like it's gonna be ready to compete with the biggest games in the world when it's out.
Absolutely.
And we have to become the biggest game in the world. But again, I thought it was gonna take me 6 months and I was gonna do it myself. That's how deluded I was. Because it's just a game, man. I make games all the time. It was a big deal. But it was a big deal and it's a big deal. So that's the story.
I think it's wonderful. I just love it. I mean, I love hearing your story, and I love this game, man. I really do. And I just love that sort of independent. I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna not cede control over to the bigger company. I'm gonna carve my own, forge my own path, and develop this game myself. And develop, but based on a community basis. You know, that idea of opening the Discord, and all of a sudden you've got 500 people there, you know, backing you, wanting to get involved, you know.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side of the coin, when you get a game developer, somebody like an artist, and they just do something for themselves, and they work on this in isolation for a few years, and they put it out, 99% of the time, it's going to be crap. Maybe it's amazing art, but if people don't understand it, it's crap, because the intent is to be able to communicate with others. Like, yeah, I made the best song in the world and I play it for you. And you hear, wah, 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 wah. That song is crap. Maybe for me, it's a masterpiece, but you don't do stuff like this just for yourself. It is a process. So in this case, for a game like this, working with the community and working with the people, I mean, that is not us, is the most important thing. Because we're making this game. I mean, those feelings that I was talking about, how it feels to be doing that locomotion and doing that combat, and that feel good, we want to make people feel that way. It's not so I feel that way. If I want to feel that way, I go play Quake. I still feel that way with Quake. I mean, I can put myself in my younger me and go feel like a child, amazing running and shooting things on Quake. So this is not for us to feel amazing. This is for everybody to feel amazing. So that's why we're always been developing this in the open since the very first beginning. It's all the stations of the development of this game have always been public, and you know they're gonna remain like this with that sort of.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for sharing your backstory with us today, Johanna. So it's I just love it. So this I just like to say thank you very much,
Thanks, man.
Yoami, from Nawa. All the links for the Kickstarter campaign will be in the video description below. And I really wish you all the best. I think it's a great backstory. I love the deep dive, and just the main interview all together was just a great interview. So I really sincerely wish you all the best and for the game. Thank you so much.
Likewise, man.
Thanks
a lot.
Bye bye now.